Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So you've done it, eh? You realize your Miata has a misfire just like mine did, and you're trying to find out what's going on. You're changing parts and it's still not starting. So basically the symptoms are the car cranks but it doesn't start. I was having the same thing. So you guys know I changed the motor mounts on the Miata, and as soon as I put everything back together, tried to start the car, it started for a little bit but then it died. So I went on the forums, as everybody does, and try to figure out what's wrong with the car. So basically a misfire is caused by one of the three things not being available in the engine: air, fuel, and spark. So first I thought there was no fuel because I was hearing this sound as soon as I turned the ignition on. And I thought that there was too much fuel pressure and that's why the car wasn't starting. So I went ahead and changed all the O-rings on the fuel injectors and it still didn't start after that. So then I thought maybe the fuel pressure regulator was not getting the fuel back to the fuel pump and there was no circulation. So I went ahead and changed the fuel pressure regulator as well. That still didn't solve the problem. So then I decided to take out the spark plugs because I knew there was fuel everywhere, and I checked the fuel lines and everything. Fuel was coming out, so fuel was going in the engine and was going back to the fuel cell or whatever. So then I thought maybe the spark plugs are bad. So I took out the spark plugs, and the first spark plug, the third and fourth, they were all dirty. They looked like they were being used, and the second one looked brand new. So I thought that maybe I have bad plug wires, right? So but then before I just installed new ones, so how could they go bad so quickly? So then I was like, maybe the coil pack is gone bad because the second spark plug is not igniting. So I installed a new coil pack, and these are the spark plug wires that I installed new earlier with the new spark plug. And guess what? The car still didn't start. And at this point I was like, bro, do I know anything about cars, or do I just doing random stuff, right? And I was so demotivated that I didn't even film changing the fuel pressure regulator and the coil pack. I was like, bro, I don't know anything about anything. No YouTube, no videos, no nothing until I get the car started. So then I went back on the forums and I'm like, what's going on, bro? Like, car's not starting. So now I come back to the car and I went back to the motor mounts days and I was like, bro, what did I do? Like, what happened to the car? How can it just die out of nowhere? Like, motor mounts has nothing to do with the car starting or not starting, right? Nothing, like no electrical in motor mounts. So I was really flabbergasted, to say the least. So I started backtracking, and I came to a conclusion that when I was installing the motor mounts and I took off the air intake. So this air intake, when I took it out, so this is the MAP sensor, right? Instead of pulling these pins on it, I started unscrewing these two screws. This is the airflow meter, which I didn't know what it meant, and I was just like, okay, whatever, I might as well just put a sticker on it. But what they forgot to put was, do not open these screws. Do not. I was so frustrated because I knew something went wrong when I took out those screws, because the thing didn't want to come out fully. So I tried to, give it a little bit tension and didn't want to come out, so I just put it back in. And then I remember that you have to take off those pins on the MAP sensor. But this is where the problem lies. When I was taking off that thing, it messed up everything inside the airflow meter. So let me show you guys. I opened the airflow meter and I was like so tired. I'm like, let me see what's going on in there. So I opened it, and to open it you just need a knife, and there's a silicone thing here, seal. So you just go around with the knife and you cut it, and then you can just pry it open. So this is what it looks like inside the airflow meter, and as you can see, very delicate things. So when I took this out, all the things that were connected, like they were soldered to each other, they pulled out and everything got messed up. So there's one here, which if it's gonna focus, so the number 3, which is here, was touching number 4. Number 4 and 5 were totally off, and the one here, this pulley right here, that's for the fuel. This is supposed to be on this side of the thing. When I pulled it out, this went on the other side. So since it was on the wrong side, the fuel was always on, and that's what the sound was, the hissing sound when I turned the ignition on. So now I fixed everything. The car starts. Only thing I have to do is solder the two channels together, and we're gonna do that right now in this video, so stay tuned. We'll solder it first, start the car, and I'll show you guys that that is one of the problems that could eventually cause not really a misfire, but it gives you the symptoms of a misfire. So if you guys are chasing a misfire, check the airflow meter, make sure everything is good inside, and that will eliminate at least one of the things that you have to worry about, right? Because those things are super expensive if you like really mess it up. So yeah, let's solder it back, start the car, and then we have to fix a little bit more problems. So when I was taking out the fuel rail, I had to take this thing out. It's the air valve control or something, and the gasket was really done and it broke off. So I ordered a new gasket. I had to open it, replace it, and now when I start the car idles too high. So I tried to reset it with taking out the battery so the ECU will reset, but it didn't help. So there is an option to set the idle low and control it, adjust it. So we're gonna also do that in this video right now. Alright guys, so we just soldered those two channels, and now I'm gonna start the car. Okay, so that was the problem. Now you guys know if your car is not starting, that's the first place you want to look at, and then you can eliminate it and then look at the other stuff. So I hope this video helps you guys. Now I'm just gonna set the idle. So right now it's idling over 1000, which is not what we want. We want it around, I would say about 800 to 900 RPMs. Alright guys, to set the idle, you're gonna have to short the car. So this is the diagnosis port, and you just open the clip right here. And this one is labeled, which is very good. So you're gonna short the 10 and the ground. And then we're gonna come over here to the throttle body, and you take this out, and that's where the idle adjustment screw is. So you can just use a screwdriver and turn it. I guess you're gonna turn it counterclockwise to lower it, and clockwise to make it higher. Okay guys, so I took that out, close that, idle has gone down, and now let's also check in here. Yep, we are at 900. Great success. So this thing, you want to do clockwise to lower the RPM and counterclockwise to raise the RPM. I had it the other way, but yeah, it's good now. Alright guys, so that's it for today. Did a lot of work on the Miata. It's getting a little bit better day by day, so hopefully it will not die today, because I'm gonna take it out on a ride to maybe like half-hour away from my house. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. I hope this video will help you guys in figuring out if you have a misfire or if the airflow meter is a little bit messed up. So thank you for watching guys. I hope this helps. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.